I'm going to give you guys a quick overview of my Snowbike setup from last season, just before I tear this thing apart, get it completely back to stock so I can sell everything and hopefully upgrade by the end of the year. So this setup right here, 2014 Honda CRF450r, and it's paired up with a Timbersled kit, and that's the Riot LE, the 2020 version. And it's been a decent kit. I can't remember how many hours I put on it just this last season, but it was a lot more playful than the Camso kit that I ran for 2 years. So the main reason I'm upgrading is the newer Honda engines. They've got a lot more horsepower, and off the top of my head, can't really tell you numbers, but this generation of Honda wasn't really known for being a beast of a motor. Now, I've ran this Honda for 3 snowbike seasons. It's got 120 hours on it right now as it sits. I was able to go most everywhere. I did have a little bit harder time just trying to get through some deep bottomless powder. All these kits have pros and cons. Some things do better than others. What I really loved about this was the ability to adjust suspension on the fly with these clickers. I believe these are the Fox QS3 Shocks in the back there, hooked up with a Timbersled gas can storage bag, and then up front for suspension got the Timbersled Trio. That was pretty nice to have on there. The setup that I have built in with that is the AirPro, and that's because these are air forks. That's a nice add-on because you're just able to adjust it, add a little bit more pressure, and get the most out of your forks. I'll just start up front here and work our way back on all the mods. So obviously up front, the Trio, all I have on here is just these seal savers. That just helps with any buildup of ice down on the tubes. I do just have some different plastics on here since, like I said, a couple seasons snowbiking with this thing, I've blown apart plastics quite a bit. I do have this mesh here, I forget exactly the name of it, but that helps completely keep these radiators clean. And then usually I have just little sliders that go right in there for block offs. That combined with the PST Engine jacket, I mean it keeps the snow off your stuff pretty good. A Chirby's skid plate. I really like this skid plate for winter and summertime. Everything else pretty much stock. Up top, obviously the Lottworx Lightbar. This is their Gen 1 light bar, and I've honestly loved it. It's helped out quite a bit, and a couple times been coming back in the dark, and this thing just, I mean, it just lights up the whole place. Moose Racing handguards, some pretty decent ones. I've ran these since I bought the bike, and I've loved them. Way up top here, so I've got my temp gauge running off the ThermoBob all the way up, and I cut out a little spot right there in the bar pad. So that way you're able to read your temp while you're just flying down the road or anything like that. So that's pretty nice. The Chirby's gas tank, I'm trying to remember what the stock size is. It's a pretty small one. The Honda, it's like 1.6 gallons can fit in this thing. It's not very good. So whether dirt or snow, I was always running out of gas or worried about running out of gas. So now, basically I can almost use a full tank for like the whole day. I'm pretty sure this is 3.2 gallons. Seat cover, so this is the stock seat. Underneath, just a changed cover. I'm definitely going to keep this cover and hopefully be able to use it on a different project. I've got the stock one still, good condition. I'm just gonna throw that back on. But I love this seat. It kind of shredded my snow pants a little bit, or wore them out really bad in the crotch area just from sliding on these nubs. But game changer as far as actually gripping to the bike. And in this area, so we got the ThermoBob hanging out right there, and that's behind our Devol radiator braces. I know that these have kept my radiators from getting too dinged up. Down here just have the Boyesen clutch cover, and then the Boyesen water pump and cover there. Now as you can see, my FMF header unfortunately has some dings and scratches in it. So this guy is the factory 4.1 titanium. Awesome. looking setup. One last thing from PST as well is the pod intake. It's going to be difficult to give you a good look at that, but imagine just a pod filter, and it's got kind of a screen on the end of that. I'm really on the fence about tearing this thing down and selling it, mainly because the inventory out there is pretty low, and if I can't find a deal, I might be screwed this winter. I'm hoping to really upgrade to a 19 plus CRF450. All of these aftermarket mods on here, I am going to take them off, put the stock ones back on. This bike, maybe I can get $5 grand out of it. It is kickstart only, and it's a 2014, so 7 years old. Still get $5 grand? I don't know. I did buy this bike brand new in 2016 because it was a holdover, and then the company went bankrupt, and then they got bought out by another dealer, and so this was just one of those that made it through the cracks. I found out about it first and was able to buy it for $5,500 brand new. That's probably one of the best deals that I've ever made. I've got 120 hours on it. It's probably close to needing a top end, and we all know how pricey those are for 4 strokes. That is the setup. A couple extra things that I didn't really point out, but for the most part, this has been a great bike for me. But as always, looking to upgrade, and hopefully I can find a good deal on a 2019 plus CRF450. So I hope you like this overview video. I know a couple of you have gotten a hold of me on Instagram asking for it, and here it is. If you do have any questions or want any tips regarding snow biking or this setup itself, let me know down in the comments. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. Down in the description, all the goodies. Check it out. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.